Are there really that many rich people? People are pretty frivolous with their money. Somehow I've heard numerous friends try to justify eating out while I hear them complain about being broke. Eating out a couple times a week for $50 at Applebee's is fine, but $200 bills 2-3 times a week is why they're struggling more than necessary. They try to say that making food at home costs just as much. Bollocks. It takes time but is so much cheaper. Do what you want but don't complain when you wasted all your money on atmosphere. They aren't rich, just lazy. My experience is, the people I know struggling the most with money tend to be the ones ordering things like DoorDash the most. I don't know if my experience is biased or if that's really the case. The idea I think is bad with money, not really a matter of rich versus not rich. But obviously people bad with money are far less likely to be rich. Some people are just extremely lazy. I had a roommate in college who would order DoorDash 3-4 times a day. It was always Chick-fil-A. I tried DoorDash a couple of times, but I couldn't get over paying a markup plus tip for food I can just to get. People aren't financially prudent. They have no savings and they are in debt because they spend beyond their means. Every comment is just saying that people aren't smart with money. IMHO, most people in the top quartile of earners can easily afford DoorDash. Source: I make $115,000 per year, save 1/3 of my pay, and DoorDash multiple times per week. DoorDash is very overpriced. If you are lucky that Grubhub is in your area, then that's the smarter choice. About 30% of household incomes are above $135K a year. That's 1 in 3 adults, really, belonging to an income that high, at home. 20% of the households with that income are from a single earner. So when you consider the median household income in the US is somewhere around $75K a year, a third of people are nearly double that. In some areas, median household incomes are hovering around $50K. The idea that a third of households around you could be over double is slightly astonishing. That puts things in perspective. A report from 2019 said that 44% of all people who earn money earn less than $18K a year. The median income stat often leaves the vast majority of those people off, because many are not required to file taxes, and the income stats are only for people who file taxes. So yes, a shit ton of people are making enough to spend double on food, and not give a flying fuck. They're also probably paying $60 for their bottles of wine, not $9. $110K for a commuter car, not $40K. No, they're just bad with money. I watch this YouTube guy who's always ordering and is always overdrawing his account. It's just bias. Since the prices are now sky high, I don't order food like I used in the past. Now I do every rarely in special occasion, once at 2 months. Probably these same people who order also order rarely, and you seems to see everyone having money to spend, but actually it's always different customers many times. It's called living beyond your means. Soon their credit cards are maxed out. They might briefly appear to be rich. Most are one paycheck away from becoming homeless. They never learn to cook. LOL. Right now the US has the most credit card debt ever recorded. I'll let you take that into your own interpretation. No, but there are tons of dumb people. If you go to the DoorDash drivers subreddit, they complain that the end of the month is slow because their customers need to make rent on the 1st. That's the sort of people that are wasting their money on overpriced convenience, the ones that don't have it. No, there's not that many rich people, but there are that many people who are careless with their money. I'm not rich, and rarely order food delivery these days, but sometimes I'll happily pay 2x the cost just to get fed that night. It's not often at all, but sometimes you get home late, don't want to cook, nothing to cook even if you wanted to, and you're starving. At those times, 2x normal price is a bargain. 1. People are not smart with money. whether they are rich or not. 2. You don't need to be a millionaire to use these services. Most people with a reasonable white-collar income can use DoorDash without getting broke. 3. A lot of those might be getting food at late hours in the office, which is usually reimbursed. Mostly everybody is in debt. https://www.cnbc.com/20233/11/09/average-credit-card-balance-top-60000-a-109/year-hi.html. They're just terrible with their money. I work at a wedding venue on the weekends. During our breaks, when the guests are done eating, we get all the leftovers. The food is amazing. And yet, one of my coworkers DoorDashes Wendy's every time he works. Like, dude, you're getting free food.